So how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. So on my previous video, I have problem with my car. It doesn't want to start, so I tried to fix it using the parts that I bought from Amazon, but I didn't have enough time to complete that video because it's too long. So on the second part of the video, we're gonna do the full install of that part, also the first start and the valve relearn using my Launch scan tool. So if you didn't see that first video, I'm gonna put down the link down below. And also for the scan tool, if you wanna check it out, this is also the video for that. I'm gonna put down the link down below. So any tools that I use or parts that I use in this video, I'm gonna put all the links down below. So go check them out if you're interested. So guys, to continue for the part 2, let's get started. So you have to take out all these 3 brackets here for the injector. So that's a 10mm. So now we're gonna pull out the injector 1 and 2, and I have my injector puller here. So once you install the injector puller, you need to use 24mm on this big nut here. We're gonna go clockwise. So once you got the injector loose, then we have to pull out the injector puller. Remember, you don't want to mix up this injector because each injector is programmed to the system. So make sure when you pull it out, you have to mark down 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You don't want to mix them up, otherwise you can have problem. So now I'm going to mark down these 2 injectors, 1 and 2. As you can see, it's very dark, so I think it's a good idea to soak this on the injector cleaner before you put it back. So this is injector 3 and 4. So injector 5 and 6. You have to remove these 3 injector wells. So inside, it's a T30. You have 2 T30 screw. So before you remove the injector well, just make sure you plug that hole where the injector is, so this screw will not accidentally drop inside that hole. So I put some paper towel to block the hole. So now I can confidently take out those 2 screws without dropping it in the hole of the injector. So that's a T30. So here's a magnet to pick up the screw. As you can see, there's a big wear on that servo motor gear, worm gear. See that? And also all the see, all that marking on the worm gear of the eccentric shaft is already worn out too. So before we take out the eccentric shaft, I have to take out this oil squirter for the servo motor. So first we have to remove the gasket that that's here. Anyway, we're gonna replace this one. I bought 3 brand new gaskets, so we don't really need this one. It's better to change the gasket every time you open up this engine, just to make sure you're gonna have a better seal after. So now I'm gonna take out the oil squirter. So here we need an E8 torque socket. It's also a good idea to blow the air squirter to make sure it's not blocked. So next time when you put it back, it's not gonna have any problem squirting the oil on the servo motor. Before we remove the servo motor, we have to remove the stopper for the eccentric shaft. So once we remove that, we can wind the eccentric shaft to go to the other side where there's no gear, and then we can pull out the servo motor. So this is 11 millimeter. It's not too tight. You can just, after you crack it, you can just use your finger to turn it. So here we have to use the number 4 Allen key on the servo motor. Just put it inside so we can turn it. I can feel that there's a tension on it already, so just be careful. Slowly there's a tension on it because of those springs. So slowly we have to wind it until we pass the empty side of the gear on the eccentric shaft. So this is the part where there's no tension on the servo motor and also on the eccentric shaft. So now we have to go make sure this worm gear on the eccentric shaft is all the way down on the flat side before we can pull out the servo motor. So that means we have to twist it all the way to the other side. Then after that, I have to use a wrench to turn it so we can install the stopper so it doesn't back up while I take out the servo motor. Okay, so now there's no more gear on the servo motor, we can pull it out. So we have to remove the 3 bolts that's holding the servo motor. So that's the T30 Torx bit. So now I can remove the servo motor. Twist it and pull. There you go. As you can see, it's worn out. See that? The shiny part on the gear is worn out. That's why this one needs to be replaced, and also the eccentric shaft because it has the same wear on the worm gear. So after we remove the servo motor, now we take out the stopper. So now for all the caps that's holding the eccentric shaft, because we have to remove the eccentric shaft, so they are numbered from 1 to 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have to remove all the caps, but we have to do that slowly because it's under tension. The eccentric shaft is under the tension of the spring, because we're not going to use a special tool to remove the spring. So we're going to leave the spring like this, but we have to take out the eccentric shaft by slowly releasing all these bolts one by one until we have no more tension. Then we can pull out the eccentric shaft, but we have to do it very slowly because there's a lot of tension on the springs. So this is T30. Now we're gonna loosen one by one, but first we're gonna crack all the bolts. Start here from the bottom. So you have to be careful, you don't want to strip the head of these screws, otherwise you can be in trouble. So now when everything is cracked open, we can slowly loosen up the screws until we have no more tension. Then we can remove the eccentric shaft. So now we get the eccentric shaft. You also have to remove the bearing caps. So each one has a bearing cap. So we're gonna change this to a new one. So this is the new eccentric shaft, and this is the old one that we took out from the car. So we just have to put the same needle bearings on each one of this location. And while we do that, we're gonna put some assembly lube, because you don't want to run this dry. So make sure that it's fully lubricated. You can also use engine oil to do this, but me, I want to use assembly lube from Lucas, just to make sure it has a better, thicker oil than just a regular oil for the assembly for the first start. So each needle bearing comes with two bearing caps. So one is gonna go on the cap itself, and one on the engine. So when you put them together, let's say you do the assembly for the eccentric shaft, they're gonna look like this. They're gonna match each other to complete the bearing. So one goes to the engine and one goes to the bearing caps. Okay, first we're gonna start with the two. So we have to put the bearing on this area here. Let's just lube this one here. So we also need to lubricate the bearing. So you can spread this bearing from the middle, and then you can slide it in. There you go. Second one. So each bearing caps are all the same, so there's nothing to worry about getting mixed up. They're all the same. And also we're gonna lubricate all the lobes and the worm gear. Very important that the worm gear is assembly lube. You don't want to run this dry. So here are the bearing caps. So we're not gonna reuse the old bolts or screws. I bought some new ones from BMW, so this is the new screws that we're gonna use to install the bearing caps. So now we're gonna replace the bearing caps inside. You can just use your finger. Compress it. So all you have to do is align the center of the hole here to that hole and just press it in. That's it. So you have to move it around until you go inside the center of the hole. Once you press it and it's not moving anymore, that means you're on the right spot. That's it. So all I have to do now is install these caps on the engine before we put back the eccentric shaft. Put some assembly lube also. Make sure that it's not dry. So these are the bolts that we're gonna use to install the bearing caps. So because we don't have a spring compressor, we're gonna install these caps by using this harder bolts, stainless steel, that I bought from the hardware store. So this is an M6 by 30. So as soon as we install this and near to the compression of the bearing caps, we're gonna replace one by one to the original BMW bolts. So this bolt is only to compress it, but this is to install it. So I'm going to start with the number 6. So I installed all the caps one by one with the stainless steel M6 by 30. So slowly we're gonna tighten it to compress the eccentric shaft before we properly close it. We're gonna replace one by one to the original screw of the BMW. So now I'm gonna try to slowly until you see that it's fully compressed. Well, almost fully compressed. So this is a long process. I'll come back to you when as soon as I'm ready to replace the bolts. Since now it's almost compressed, so we're gonna replace all the bolt with the proper one. So we're gonna take out this one here. So I started torquing this 4 bolts here with the 8.5 Newton meter. So I'm gonna start from the center going out. So these 4 bolts are done to 8.5. Newton meters. That's 8.5 Newton meter. Okay, now we go on this side here. Point 5. Okay. 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 That's it. So now it's time to install the servo motor. But before that, we have to move this worm gear out of the way by turning here and then putting the stopper. You don't need to tighten it, just use your finger. So you put the stopper. Now we're gonna install the Valvetronic. So this is my new Valvetronic. So I'm gonna put some assembly lube on the worm gear. So now we slide it in place here. So we're gonna reinstall back the 3 T30 bolts or screws. So it's 3 of them. So that's a T30. So that's 10 Newton meter. So now we're gonna slowly engage the worm gear of the eccentric shaft to the servo motor. Slowly by controlling it with the Allen key and the wrench. But first we have to hold here while we take out the stopper. Then slowly we're gonna turn it. Slowly we're gonna turn it. The worm gear. So there's a tension now on the worm gear. We have to put the stopper because now it's under tension. So we have to put the stopper. So the torque for the stopper is 10 Newton meter also. So this is the oil squirter. Just make sure you clean the squirter with the compressed air before you put it back, just to make sure the passages on this tube is clear. So you put it like this. So you have to put back the original screw that's on the oil squirter. So you have to torque the bolt to 10 Newton meter. That's it. So before I install the gaskets on the three injector wells, I'm gonna clean all the surface where the contact of the gasket will be. So I'm just gonna use a microfiber towel, rub it around there with some brake cleaner. Just rub it on the surface where the gasket will sit. So it's gonna be nice and clean before you put on the gasket. Same thing on the injector wells. You have to clean the surface before you put on the gasket. So here are the three gaskets. Put them in the same order. Third one. So I also clean the contact surface on the injector wells. So now it's time to install the 6 bolts for the injector wells. So now we're gonna torque one by one the bolts to 10 Newton meter. So finally it's starting again. Oh my god, can't wait to drive this car. I miss this car so much. So it's a success, changing the eccentric tap and also the Valvetronic motor. Thank God this car is running again. So now it's time to do the valve relearn. I'm gonna use my diagnostic tool to do that, to relearn the eccentric shaft on the system. So now I'm running the learning function of the Valvetronic using my Launch Diagnostic tool. Sounds like struggling, but there's 450 cycles before you can finish this relearn. So the idling now is like going up and down, up and down. It's jumping. It's trying to relearn the new eccentric shaft. So there's 450 cycles and I only have 46, so I'll get back to you guys as soon as it's near the end. So cycle is almost done. There's 8 more to go. So now it's gonna take 50 trouble-free cycles. So now it's on number 7. So then again, I'll get back to you guys when it's almost near the 50. So now it's on the 42. 6 more to go. So now the Valvetronic and the eccentric shaft has been successfully completed. So guys, finally my car is running again. I missed this car. I didn't drive this car for a long time until I finally fixed the car. So you know what? There's a lot more mods and DIY coming for this car. So guys, if you like the video, please give this video a like and also don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much for watching and I'll see you in the next one.
Like a drug that